You are currently living in a cage that you cannot see, touching bars you cannot feel, obeying a system you have never met. You believe your choices are your own. You believe that if you work hard, love deeply and tell the truth, the world will reward you. But look around you. Look closely. Who is actually winning? Is it the person who gives everything away freely? Is it the one who is transparent, predictable, and relentlessly kind? Or is it the one who holds back? The one who calculates? The one who seems to operate by a different set of rules entirely? Robert Greene has spent modern times writing down truths so cold, so brutal, and so undeniable that polite society often tries to look away from them. He doesn't write about how the world should be. He writes about how it is. He understands that human nature is not driven by morality alone. It is driven by power, fear, desire, and self-interest. If you ignore these forces, you become their target. If you understand them, you become their architect. Most people move through life as player two in their own game. They react, they defend, they wait for permission. They are controlled by unseen laws of psychology that dictate who gets respect, who gets valued, and who gets left behind. Today we are going to dismantle the illusion. We are going to walk through the 7 Robert Greene-style laws that are secretly shaping your life right now. These are not tips. These are the operating system of human hierarchy. By the end of this video, you will have a choice. Continue to be the pawn moved by invisible hands, or cut the strings and finally see the board. But a warning, once you see these laws, you cannot unsee them. Awareness once gained changes everything. Law 1, the economics of presence. The first law is the foundation of all value, and it is the one you violate every single day. Respect is not a product of generosity. It is a product of scarcity. You have been conditioned to believe that to be valued, you must be present. You must be available. You must answer the text immediately. Pick up the extra shift. Listen to the drama and offer your energy the moment it is requested. You think this makes you reliable. You think this makes you good. It does not. It makes you undervalued. Basic economics rules the human soul just as it rules the market. Water is essential for life, yet it is free because it flows from every tap. Diamonds are not essential, yet they are admired because they are hidden, rare and difficult to obtain. When you are always available, you become water. You are necessary perhaps, but you are not respected. You are consumed. You are taken for granted. And when the tap runs dry, people don't feel gratitude for what they had. They feel frustration that the service has stopped. Robert Greene repeatedly emphasizes that the figure seen too often becomes ordinary. The leader who is always accessible loses his aura. Observe the dynamics in your own life. Who is the person you think about most? Is it the one who texts you back instantly with paragraphs of reassurance? Or is it the one who takes hours, whose validation feels earned, whose attention feels like a spotlight that could turn away at any moment? The human brain is wired to chase what retreats. It is the cat string theory of psychology. If you drop the string, the cat loses interest. If you pull the string away, the cat pounces. To master this law, you must learn the discipline of strategic absence. This is not about playing games. It is about understanding the weight of your own existence. You must stop distributing yourself like free flyers on a street corner. You must start rationing your presence like gold. This means you do not explain everything. You do not show up to every event. You do not answer every call. You create a void. When you withdraw, you create a vacuum, and nature abhors a vacuum. People will rush to fill that space with their attention, their curiosity, and their desire. When you're silent, they wonder what you're thinking. When you are absent, they wonder where you are. In that wondering, they create a perception of you. And that perception is often more powerful than the reality of you sitting on the couch, readily available, waiting to be relied on. Start today. Withdraw 20% of your availability. Watch how the room leans in. Watch how the text messages change from casual to urgent. You are not being harsh. You are teaching them the value of what you offer by showing them the possibility of its absence. Law 2, never be the hero, be the necessity. The second law explains why you are forgotten. Most people try to be loved, They try to be the hero who saves the day. They give, they fix, they heal, and then, once the person is helped, once the job is done, the hero is forgotten. Why? Because the hero is no longer needed. Robert Greene repeatedly shows that wise strategists create systems where others continue to value their presence. Translation: do not build relationships based purely on affection. Build relationships around irreplaceable value. This sounds cold. It is. But look at the reality of the corporate world, the romantic world, the social world. The employee, who is loved but replaceable, is the first to be let go when budget cuts happen. The partner who is sweet but offers no security, no direction, and no emotional stability is often the first to be left behind. Safety is not found in being liked. Safety is found in being essential. If you want to be difficult to replace, you must position yourself so that your absence creates impact. You must become the architect of the other person's stability. In your career, do not just do your job. Develop a specific skill that only you possess. Own the relationship with the key client. Hold the knowledge that keeps the system running. Make it so that if you leave, the structure feels it. In relationships, this is more subtle. It is not about financial dependence. It is about emotional and psychological necessity. Be the only one who truly understands their deepest ambition. Be the only one who can calm their specific anxiety. Be the source of clarity they cannot find in the chaos of the world. When you become the source of their stability, they cannot afford to lose. You shift the balance completely. Love is volatile. It changes with the wind. It changes with mood. But need is primal. Need is persistent. A person may leave someone they love for someone they feel they need, but they rarely walk away from someone they deeply rely on for someone they simply enjoy. Stop trying to convince people that you are a good person. Good people are often overlooked. Convince them through your actions, your competence, and your unique understanding that you are the oxygen in the room. Once you establish value, you no longer have to beg for respect. It is given to you as a form of recognition, a response to what you consistently provide. This is the difference between being an accessory and being a necessity. Accessories are replaced. Necessities are protected. Law 3, the fog of war. The third law is where most honest people destroy themselves. You have been taught that honesty is the best policy. You have been taught to communicate, to share your goals, to announce your plans to the world. I'm going to start a business. I'm going to lose 20 pounds. I'm going to leave him. And what happens? The business fails. The weight stays on. The relationship drags on. Why? Because you gave away your power. A declared intention is a weapon you have handed to your enemy. When you reveal your plans, you do 3 things that weaken you. First, you trigger the premature dopamine reward. Psychology shows that when you announce a goal and people say, "Wow, good for you," your brain releases the dopamine as if you had already achieved it. You lose the hunger. You lose the drive. You are satisfied by the talk, so you never do the walk. Second, you invite sabotage. The moment you articulate your ambition, you hold a mirror up to the mediocrity of those around you. They will not clap for you. They will consciously or subconsciously try to trip you. They will plant doubt. Are you sure that's a good time? That sounds risky. They will drag you back into the bucket. Third, and most Robert Greene-like, you become predictable, and predictability is death. If people know what you want, they know how to manipulate you. If they know you are desperate for a promotion, they can dangle it over your head to make you work for free. If they know you are terrified of a breakup, they can treat you poorly, knowing you won't leave. You must become a closed book. Robert Greene repeatedly emphasizes that power belongs to the one whose intentions remain concealed until the move is already in motion. Adopt the fog of war in your daily life. When you are angry, wear a mask of calm. When you are desperate, wear a mask of abundance. When you are about to make a major move, smile and talk about the weather. Let your actions be the only announcement you ever make. There is a terrifying power in the person who does not speak. When you are in a meeting and you do not reveal your position, people project their own fears onto you. They try to impress you. They try to guess what you are thinking. You become a screen upon which they project their own psychology, revealing everything about themselves while you reveal nothing. Use decoy goals. If you want to seize power, pretend you are only interested in stability. If you want to influence, pretend you are only interested in friendship. By the time they realize your true intention, it should be too late for them to stop it. Do not be the dog that barks at the intruder, warning them to run away. Be the viper in the grass, silent, still, and striking only when the distance is closed. Law 4, the law of emotional asymmetry. This law controls every relationship you have ever been in, from your parents to your lovers to your boss. It is the brutal truth of human connection. The person who cares the least controls the relationship. This is the principle of least interest. Think of a negotiation. One person is desperate to sell the car because they need the cash. The other person likes the car but is perfectly happy walking away. Who determines the price? The one who can walk away always. In your life, you are likely suffering because you are the one with the heavy hand. You are the one investing more emotion, more worry, and more analysis into the bond. You are constantly checking the temperature of the relationship. Are we okay? Did I do something wrong? Why is he acting distant? This anxiety is a stench. It smells like weakness, and subconsciously it repulses people. When you overinvest, you upset the balance of power. You place the other person on a pedestal, and from that height, they can only look down on you. You give them the power to destroy you, and then you wonder why they treat you with carelessness. It is because you have made yourself cheap. You have signaled that you will stay no matter what. To regain control, you must master emotional asymmetry. This does not mean you stop loving. It does not mean you become a sociopath. It means you cultivate the ability to detach. You must find a center of gravity inside yourself that does not depend on anyone else. When they pull back, you do not chase. You stand still. When they get hot and angry, you remain cool and observant. Imagine a scale. If they step off their side, you do not jump to their side to hold them. You stay on your side. You let the scale tip. You let them feel the consequence of their distance. When you stop chasing, you flip the dynamic. Suddenly, they are the ones facing the void. Suddenly, they are the ones wondering why you aren't calling. The anxiety shifts from you to them. And here is the dark paradox. People are drawn to those who do not need them. We want the approval of the person who is hard to impress. We want the love of the person who loves themselves more than they love us. If you make someone the center of your universe, they will eventually leave to find a new universe. But if you are your own universe, complete, spinning, self-sustaining, they will orbit you. You must be willing to lose the relationship in order to keep it. You must be willing to walk away from the deal in order to close it. The moment you are truly ready to walk away, you become dangerous. You become powerful. You become the one who sets the terms. Look at your life right now. Where are you gripping too tight? Where are you trying to force an outcome? Let go, lean back, watch, wait. The law of symmetry dictates that the moment you pull back your energy, the world comes rushing in to fill the gap. Law 5, the surgeon's precision. We move now to the law that separates the leaders from the cowards. This is the law of conflict management, and it is where your kindness is actually causing the most damage. Robert Greene repeatedly explores the principle that prolonged uncertainty creates more suffering than decisive action. Most people do the exact opposite. When you have to deliver bad news, end a relationship, fire an employee, or cut off a toxic family member, what do? You hesitate. You soften the blow. You drag it out. You break up with them, but you agree to stay friends to not hurt their feelings. You fire the employee, but you give them a month of false hope. You tell the toxic friend you're just busy, instead of telling them they are poisoning your life. You think you are being gentle. You are not. You are being a torturer. By dragging out the conflict, you are cutting off the dog's tail 1 inch at a time. You are keeping the wound open, allowing it to infect, ensuring that the pain lasts for years instead of days. The Robert Greene strategist mindset requires you to think like a surgeon. If a limb is gangrenous, you do not massage it. You do not cut it slowly. You amputate. You do it with one clean, brutal strike. It is shocking. It is agonizing, but it is final. And because it is final, the healing can begin immediately. In your life, identify the rot. Is it a relationship that is dead but still walking? Is it a habit that is killing your ambition? Is it a person who disrespects you repeatedly? Do not negotiate with rot. Do not offer it a performance improvement plan. Strike once, strike hard, and never look back. If you leave a door cracked open out of guilt, the cold draft will eventually make you sick. If you offer benefits, your time, your attention, your love, give them slowly. Make people wait for them. But if you must inflict pain or consequences, do it so decisively that there is no confusion. People respect a clean executioner. They despise a clumsy one. The person who breaks up with you clearly and cuts contact is offering you the dignity of closure. The person who disappears and then comes back, who plays hot and cold, who says maybe someday, is trapping you in a prison of hope. Do not be the jailer, be the executioner. It is the only form of mercy that matters in the game of power. Law 6, court attention at all costs. You have been raised with a modest lie. Don't judge a book by its cover. The reality? The cover is the only thing most people ever see. We live in a visual culture. We are creatures of the surface. We judge competence by confidence. We judge wealth by attire. We judge authority by posture. If you are hiding your light because you believe that virtue is its own reward, you will disappear in the dark. The world does not reward the best person. It rewards the most visible person. Robert Greene repeatedly emphasizes that power is inseparable from perception. Law 6 is simple. You must control the optical illusion of your life. This does not mean you lie. It means you curate. It means you understand that your appearance, your tone of voice, and the setting in which you are seen are not superficial details. They are the language of the unconscious mind. Look at the nice guy or the good girl. They work hard. They keep their head down. They wait to be noticed. And they are bypassed by the person who does half the work but knows how to present it with flair. Why? Because the quiet worker disappears into the background, and what is unseen counts for nothing. You must learn to create a spectacle. This doesn't mean wearing neon. It means standing out by being different than the noise around you. If everyone is shouting, your spectacle is silence. If everyone is dressed casually, your spectacle is precision. If everyone is panicking, your spectacle is absolute terrifying calm. You must become conscious of your brand. Every time you step out of your door, you are stepping onto a stage. How you walk matters. If you walk with your head down, avoiding eye contact, you are broadcasting submission. You are telling the predators, I am prey. Lift your chin. Slow down your movements. Powerful people do not rush. They move as if time belongs to them. When you speak, do not use filler words. Do not apologize for your existence. I'm sorry, can I just ask? No. I have a question. The difference is subtle, but it is the difference between asking for permission and taking up space. Create an image of mystery. Do not be the person who posts their breakfast, their dog, and their breakdown on social media every day. That is not transparency. That is banality. Curate your image so that people see only what you want them to see. Competence, strength, success. This feels fake to you. Good. That means you are still clinging to the idea that your inner self is enough. It isn't. Your inner self is for you. Your outer self is a weapon for the world. Sharpen it, polish it, use it. If you do not define your image, your enemies will define it for you, and they will not be kind. Law 7, master the art of timing. The final law is the one that binds them all together. It is the mastery of time. The amateur is always in a hurry. They are frantic. They are reacting to emails, reacting to insults, reacting to the clock. They are always busy, yet they never seem to arrive. Hurry creates a lack of dignity. Hurry betrays a lack of control. Robert Greene repeatedly explores the relationship between patience, timing, and decisive action. You cannot control the river, but you can control when you put your boat in the water. The law of timing dictates that patience is a weapon, not a virtue. Most of your mistakes in life came from impatience. You sent the angry text too soon. You took the first job offer because you were scared. You slept with them too quickly because you wanted validation. You quit the project just before the breakthrough. You are fighting against time, and so you are losing. To become a Robert Greene strategist is to step outside of the frantic ticking of the clock. You must learn to sit in the tension. When someone insults you, the instinct is to snap back immediately. The time master waits. He looks at the person. He lets the silence stretch until it becomes uncomfortable. He smiles, and then maybe he speaks, or maybe he doesn't. By waiting, he signals that he is not a slave to the other person's provocation. In negotiation, the one who is willing to wait the longest wins. If you need the deal now, you will pay a premium. If you can wait a month, they will pay you. This requires a cold suppression of your anxiety. You must train yourself to hold your breath underwater. Observe the lion. It does not run around the savannah chasing every opportunity it sees. It lays in the grass. It watches. It waits. It conserves energy. It waits for the one moment where the target is vulnerable and the conditions are right. And then, like Law 5, it strikes all at once. Stop trying to force the harvest. You cannot pull the plants up from the soil to make them grow faster. You will only kill them. Analyze the cycles of your life. There are times to be aggressive, and there are times to retreat and sharpen your blade. If you act when you should retreat, you will be destroyed. If you retreat when you should act, you will miss the throne. How do you know the difference? By detaching, by stopping the emotional rush, by looking at the board not as a participant but as a strategist moving pieces. Control time and you control the outcome. You have now seen the 7 laws. But ask yourself, who taught you those rules? Was it the people who wanted you to be powerful? Or was it the people who wanted you to be compliant? Society needs workers. It needs bees who sacrifice themselves for the hive. It needs people who are predictable, honest, patient, and blindly loyal. It trains you to be a sheep because sheep are easy to shear and easy to control. But you feel something different, don't you? That's why you are still listening. You feel that the role of the sheep does not fit. You are tired of being used. To apply these laws is to step out of the herd. It is to accept that you might be called cold. You might be called calculating. You might be called overly strategic. Wear those titles like armor because the alternative is to remain vulnerable to those who do. Understand these laws. The world is divided into those who play the game and those who are played. Pieces in someone else's game. There is no third option. You cannot opt out. Gravity pulls you down whether you believe in it or not. Power dynamics shape your life whether you acknowledge them or not. The only choice you have is whether you want to be the hammer or the anvil. When you start applying these laws, your reality will shift. People will respect you more, but they will understand you less. You will have more control, but you will feel more alone. You will see the patterns in everyone else, and you will realize how blindly they move. It is a lonely path, but it is the only path that leads to sovereignty. You are no longer a child waiting for the world to be fair. You are an architect building a fortress in a world that is fundamentally unfair. Build it strong, build it silent, and let others exhaust themselves against your boundaries. But understand this, knowing the laws is not enough. Information without execution is just mental indulgence. You can nod your head at this video, feel a surge of power, and then go back to texting back too fast, oversharing your plans, and seeking validation. If you do that, you are avoiding the real test. The real test is not in the understanding, it is in the application. It is in that split second when your phone buzzes and you want to pick it up, but you don't. It is in that moment you want to send an emotional message to your ex, but you stay silent. It is in that moment you want to brag about your new project, but you keep your mouth shut. That is where the real battle is won. In the silence, in the restraint, in the discipline. Most people will watch this and change nothing. They will return to the comfort of their cage because the cage is safe. The cage is warm. Are you most people? Or are you ready to see how deep the rabbit hole actually goes? If you're still here, you're not like the others. Subscribe if you haven't.